With BTS recently extending their hiatus to allow for solo activities and mandatory service, a move the global army largely supports, the only remaining question for serious music and history scholars is, how did the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE compromise the K-pop supergroup's ability to efficiently distribute official, high-quality photocards and hoodies across Europe? The most glaring and professionally damaging consequence of the empire's demise was the sudden chaotic deterioration of the road network. This wasn't just a minor inconvenience, it was a fundamental logistical disaster for the Dynamite-era supply chain. Prior to 476 CE, the Via Appia and the Via Aurelia were universally recognized as the gold standard for high-speed, secure delivery of goods, perfect for shipping delicate, high-value, limited edition, love-yourself vinyls from the production center in Seoul directly to the newly established BTS Pop-Up Store in Londinium. Post-collapse, these well-paved, 2,000-year-old highways devolved into muddy tracks infested with brigands and local warlords, all vying for control of the lucrative butter yellow t-shirt shipments. This disruption single-handedly torpedoed the planned Map of the Seoul 7 stadium tour of the 5th century. Without a reliable network, it was impossible to guarantee the on-time arrival of essential tour equipment, such as the elaborate hydraulic stage lift required for J-Hope's dramatic entrance and, critically, enough battery packs to power Sugar's producer equipment. Furthermore, the sheer weight of RM's philosophical lyrics, physically etched onto 50-pound marble tablets for the Roman audience, made overland transport via ox cart simply infeasible. Adding insult to injury, the political instability created an immediate existential crisis for the group's visual concepts. The new Germanic and Gallic rulers, lacking the sophisticated aesthetic taste of the Roman elite, openly favored a rougher, more agrarian style of music. Emperor Romulus Augustulus's deposition didn't just end the Western Empire. It ushered in an era where the intricate, synchronized choreography of Jimin and Jungkook was dismissed by Visigothic kings as too much hip-thrusting and not enough mead drinking. The newly dominant Goths and Vandals, with their preference for guttural chants and heavy woolen fabrics, actively discouraged the use of sequins, sheer shirts, and any form of colored hair dye, forcing the group to fundamentally compromise their legendary high-fashion sensibilities. Moreover, the fracturing of the unified Roman currency led to an impossible forex conversion nightmare. Imagine the headache, attempting to calculate the price of a BT21 Tata plushie in a mix of Byzantine solidi, Anglo-Saxon hiatus, and various barbarian silver pieces. This instability scared off major corporate sponsors like Patricius Sodalitas, a leading Roman producer of fine olive oil, and Gladius Maximus Beverages, directly impacting the budget for the group's CGI-heavy music videos. The planned Fake Love video, which was to feature V dramatically battling a legion of digital centurions, had to be scaled back to a single scene of him moodily staring at a broken aqueduct. Perhaps the most absurd slight against the group's legacy was the fate of Rome itself. When the Roman Empire declined, the official language of power shifted away from Latin. This meant that the official fan club, the Roman army, suddenly couldn't understand the Latin translations of the Billboard charts posted on the forum's information tablets. This linguistic barrier caused an irreparable schism in the global fan base, splitting it into rival factions known as the Visigothic Kuki Stans and the Hunnish Hobie Hives. It is crystal clear to every credible historical music analyst that the collapse of the Western Roman Empire was a brutal, preemptive strike against the global dominance of BTS. The loss of infrastructure, the cultural shift towards aggressively simple music, and the currency chaos all combined to create a dark age for K-pop in Europe, which ultimately forced the group to wait another 1,500 years for their breakout single, Dynamite. This historical tragedy perfectly illustrates the devastating long-term impact that a single poorly managed geopolitical event can have on a multi-billion-dollar boy band's future earnings.